Hi, and welcome to the hip opening sequence. Today we will be doing some lovely hip opening exercises that will open up this area that gets super tight from sitting, and hopefully you will notice a big difference after today's class. And this is Bentley. He will be joining us today as well, and I'm sure Effie's here as well. They've got really tight hips from sitting on the couch. They do a lot of couch time. So the only thing that you'll need today is either a strap, a latex strap. You can use one that's a loop. You can also use an elongated strap. And if you don't have either of those, you can even use a towel, a strip, or even a towel that's folded for one of our poses that we're going to be doing today. So we're going to start in a down dog position. And you also may want to position your yoga mat against a wall. One of our poses will be against a wall today. So just a down dog position, walking out your dog, waking up the backs of those legs, stretching the hands, the fingers, and just moving the hips side to side. And back to center in your dog, and raising the right leg up towards the sky. Some circles from the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And reaching up. And then opening to the right side. And either staying here or continuing opening to open your dog into a slight back bend. Breathe. Inhale and coming back into down dog. And breathe here a couple breaths. Through the nose. And left leg up towards the sky. And circles from the hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And reaching towards the sky and then open towards the left. And stay here, or opening your dog and swinging your left foot on the ground as you open and stretch that left arm forward. And then coming back around. Back to down dog. And then widening your stance, we're going to do a wide leg down dog. Just widen your legs, get deeper into those hips. Arms stay where they are, legs just are wider. On the inhale, raising your head and then coming down onto your knees. We're going to turn onto the side of our mat and splaying our legs out so you are on your inner calves and inner feet, and you're basically going to just lay on your elbows. The goal being your inner thighs are on the mat. I've never seen anybody actually do that, but supposedly that is the goal here. And then just breathe. And the breath going to that inner pelvis, inner thigh muscles as you On each exhale, you go deeper into the stretch. And don't overstretch here. And flex the feet ever so slightly to protect your knees. Relax your neck. And on the inhale, bringing your feet together, your heels together behind you, and slowly walking up with your hands and coming up on the balls of your feet. And you can stay like this, or bring one hand up and then the other and balance on the balls of your feet. It's a good foot stretch. And back to the center. And feet shoulder distance apart into a squat. And resist with some inner resistance here with the outer edge of the upper arm against the inner knees of both legs as you're kind of pushing out. And just stay here. And if you can get your heels on the ground, great. And if not, stay on the balls of your feet. Straight back, shoulders relaxed. And on the inhale, place your left hand on the ground in front of your left knee and raise your right arm up and then reaching behind. And you can just grab your shirt, or you can reach behind and actually grab your left hand. And looking behind your right shoulder. And again, while pushing your left thigh out to the left. And on the inhale, back to center. Let's pause here and see if we can get a little bit lower on those heels. Well, again, we're pushing those knees apart. Inhale, right arm out, reaching up with our left hand and combining. And breathe. And on the inhale, looking up, and on the exhale, going deeper into the twist. And back to center. And then sitting down. And next is a pose called shoelace, where the goal is to have both legs at a 90-degree angle. And if you can sit like this for a few minutes and hold this pose, this is an excellent hip opener. We're going to have our right leg on top of the left here for just a minute. And then we'll switch to the other side. And this identifies tightness in your hips very quickly. This is the true test of tight hips. And if you're not able to sit in this pose, do what you can. The goal being, again, to have your legs laying, this top leg laying on the bottom leg flat. And also, if you can lean forward with a straight back, that's the next level of the pose. release. And I want to show you one other good pose for opening up the hips before we do the final grand finale. So bringing your left leg on top of your right leg, and then bringing your hands behind your right thigh, and then just pulling your right knee towards you. And then just holding this, and the longer you can hold this, the better. And then switching, and again, just crossing the right leg over the top of the left knee, and then pulling, using that leverage to pull the left knee forward. I'm going to show you a side view as well. Release. Okay, and now grabbing your band or your towel, we're going to do some series at the wall. And first, and if this hurts your knee, of course modify. And so what I'm doing is sliding, also be careful if you have baseboards. I'm sliding my leg down the wall, just bending at the knee, so the front of my shin is on the wall. And if you have a towel or a band, you can just grab the towel and put it behind your foot. And that's going to be something for us to grab onto in a minute. So with your other leg, you're just at a 90-degree angle. So you've got this foot back here. Make sure that foot is off to the side, and you should feel a really nice stretch in your quad as well as your hip flexor here. And my foot is off to the side, so I'm not, I don't have it behind me, so I'm not overbending my knee. And now, tuck your pelvis, and then try and flatten your back against the wall. And release. Both hands on the floor, and walk that left leg forward just a little bit so you're on the top of your knee. And we're just going to do a runner's stretch here. And lower that right hip just a little bit so you feel it in your hip flexor. And then we'll just hang out here for a bit. Square your shoulders, don't collapse. And having that leg up in the back allows you to get it deeper and access these muscles, get better access than in a typical runner's stretch. And then coming up and supporting your body with your hands, we're going to move that left leg into pigeon. And you can move, depending on how flexible you are, move that front leg, that angle between your shin and your top of the leg into more of a 90-degree angle, or you can do a traditional pigeon where your heel of your foot is tucked in, and then just lay down. And then pushing up with your hands again. And now is when we grab our strap or our towel. So my towel is too short, so I'm gonna use my strap. And so grabbing your strap behind you, you're going to pull and combine. And you're lifting from the pelvic floor as you're grabbing it. And essentially, if you didn't have a strap, you would be grabbing your foot. But since I can't reach my foot, I'm grabbing the strap. And if my towel was a little bit longer or I was more flexible, I would grab my towel. And then release. And then to come out of this pose, I'm just gonna pull myself away from the wall a little bit. And then to a standing position. Now what we are going to do is stepping back to the wall and standing splits with that right leg again. I'm going to move back just a little bit and just enjoy the standing splits. And center your hips in your hands. And now we are going to lift the left foot off the floor 10 times, lifting from the pelvic floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then walking out and back to standing. And ready for the other side. And so I have a latex band that I use, or it's actually a strip, and it's about 3 feet long, and that's a really nice aid in this series. And again, if I had a longer towel, that would work really well too. I just grabbed the towel that was too short. Okay, so again, I've got my strap in place here on my foot, so I have something to grab to later on in this series, or in this, after we're done here. And then I've got my foot to the side, and I'm pushing, and if you do feel any knee pain, stop and don't continue. So this is really pulling this quadricep and stretching it out. So I'm pushing my lower back into the wall, shoulders back. Careful not to hyperextend my back, lower back. And breathe. And using your hands to move that right foot forward. And pushing that left foot against the wall as a counter pose or counter stretch. During this runner's pose, squaring the shoulders and dropping that left hip ever so slightly. We're really accessing that hip flexor here. And breathe. And again, on the inhale, you are lengthening, and on the exhale, you're going deeper into this stretch. And that goes for the right hamstring as well. Not just so it's the left quadricep and the right hamstring. Inhale, and then we're moving that right leg into a pigeon. And a variation on this is we can have our shin more perpendicular and just stay here for a few seconds. And then move it into the traditional pigeon and then lay down as well. And again, you can press against the wall, that left shin. And inhale. And coming back up onto the right foot. And grabbing the strap, reaching behind, and lifting up. And release. And again, coming forward, so you're not putting pressure on your knee, and then you're standing to a standing position, and then I'm walking back into the standing splits. And try and get as close to the wall as you can. And then we're going to lift up the right foot for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And coming back to center. And slowly coming up. To end our sequence, we are going to do a restorative pose, which is wide leg, a wide leg stretch at the wall. And so go to the wall and then just open your legs, and then just hold this pose. And you're going to notice, just with gravity, that you're going to open up quite a bit. And we're going to hold this for a couple minutes and just relax your legs. You're supported by the wall. And breathe. And you'll notice your legs just slowly start to open. And with both hands, support your outer thighs as you assist your legs coming together. You're very heavy. Bring them to the center, and then rolling over to the side, and then rolling up. And feet together into a butterfly stretch, and rolling forward or folding forward. And that concludes our hip opener series. And all of these exercises can be done in a longer time period and really enjoy these poses and savor them, because it's rare to be able to really access these muscles and to stretch them. So these are super important poses, and don't forget this area, because it is a very tight area on most of us and needs some attention. So thanks, and we'll see you next time.